Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. In this video, I'm going to be pushing Ultimate Champion top ranked ladder with 3.0 Xbow Cycle, my favorite deck in the game, showing you guys how to play this deck at a high level, teaching you how to deal with the intricacies of the deck, how to play against very difficult matchups in the meta, which there are many in this meta right now, trust me, with Goblinstein and everything, as well as teaching you a bunch of little small tips and tricks, anything that can really help in getting you those sneaky Xbow connections to have success with and win your games better. So it's actually been a while since I've pushed ladder. This is my first time really playing much this week because I've been so busy with my end semester final exams at university, but I'm going to be getting used to the meta, so this is kind of my first time actually pushing against this higher ladder era meta right now, this range, and so I'm just going to be trying to teach you guys how to deal with these decks because it's also going to be my first time encountering a bunch of these decks myself. Now I'm going to go for the Xbow in the left and Log on the right. My opponent overspent a lot, so even though I took a lot of damage, this little strategy I like to call sack and attack, where we take a bit of damage, but we also gain a ton of damage in return. Now I'm also going to go Skeletons, predicting the Dark Goblin. We do get that catch. I'm actually going to ignore this Dark Goblin and save my E-Spirit because my left side tower is very healthy, so that's tower damage as a resource. I can just kind of afford to let that go, and I can also save my E-Spirit for the upcoming Goblin Barrel he's about to play right about now. He actually just go for the Ice Spirit, so I'll be forced to Fireball, but if he didn't go for the Ice Spirit there, you can see how my E-Spirit being saved would have been beneficial for that. Now, before we get more into the gameplay, I just want to tell you guys real quick that it is a giveaway for 3 special Evo Cannon emotes, and the 3 winners are going to be shown on screen right here. So if you guys are the winners of this giveaway, please contact me on Discord ASAP as soon as you can. Link will be in the description below if you guys like to join my Discord server, and actually for all the winners you have to. The links do expire in a couple of days, so this is very time sensitive. So anyone who has won, who has shown on the screen just now, please contact me and let me know on Discord with proof that it's you and it's your channel in the screenshot, and I will send you the links myself. Gonna go Knight to predict a Princess Bridge, and so we are up against a very interesting Logbait matchup. Logbait, believe it or not, guys, is one of the most dominant decks in the meta right now. Low-key kind of annoying because they're so spammy and they play so many different cheap troops. I think the biggest highlight of the Logbait meta right now is that sneaky Dark Goblin. It's so annoying, and it just seems to survive forever and get so much value. So I feel like it's really hard to break through the Dark Goblin. Your options are pretty limited, honestly. You can either let stuff go, because the Dark Goblin is just going to melt everything, or you have to save a Log, or maybe even a Fireball to take it out. I'm going to go for the Xbow again. Now it looks like this guy doesn't really have a big spell. I'm going to go for the Log. As I mentioned, you kind of do have to get those Logs off. Gonna go Evo Skeles for this Evo Knight, and the archers are going to town on that, so that's gonna be a really nice offense. We are gonna get a lock. I'm gonna go for the Xbow right away at 6, just to... Actually, I'm gonna wait till I can hit 9, so I can go for the Knight in front. There's a bit of a trick as well, guys. Sometimes you don't really go Xbow right away at 6, even though I wanted to. I had to save up enough for a Knight so that I could afford to go Knight, because if not, if I went Xbow at 6, he could just go Cannon right away, and I wouldn't be able to catch that. So sometimes you do actually want to save up and go for your Xbow when you have enough for the Knight in front as well, as tempting as it is to go aggressive. I'm going to go for the Tesla right now. It'll take out the Goblin Gang, and it's also going to help out against a possible Goblin Barrel that he might be playing. This is getting very tense, I'm not going to lie. I didn't play this game extremely clean at the start, but also Logbait spam, as I said, gets very annoying. Skeles will clean up the Princess, though, and I'm just going to have to not lose my right side tower. I'm actually going to slow the pace down, and as you can see, he predicted me to go in with an Xbow. He went Ice Spirit, Dark Goblin at the bridge. Going to ignore the entire left side, get my defensive Xbow set up, and now that I have a very nice board position with a fully healthy defensive Xbow, I can go in for a pretty nice offensive Xbow supported. I don't really see how he can stop this, to be honest. I'm going to go for the Xbow. Notice how I'm managing my cycle as well. I'm going Knight pretty much every single time with my Xbow so that I can afford to protect it, because if I just go with a normal Xbow, I don't protect it. He can easily just go for a Cannon or Knight Dark Goblin, for example, and just block it. Gonna go Evo Skeles for the Goblin Barrel, Knight to block the Princess. We do get our lock, and that's gonna be a good game. So very nice. Honestly, it was a bit messy at the start and even in the middle, but all that really matters is we were able to come out on top in the end, and so that's going to be our very first win. As you guys can see, last time I played ladder was 3 days ago, and I don't even know if that was ladder, or I'm not sure. I've just been so busy with final exams, it's been killing me, man. But, you know, I decided to just sit down and show you guys a ladder push. I just record a ladder push for you guys, because you know what, like, why not? I'm going to go for 2300 with 3.0 Xbow, see how I can do in this meta, and I've been, honestly, I know you guys have been commenting on my videos saying that you really want me to post a long form video. Trust me, guys, I have been fiending to post a video myself. Like, I have missed streaming and recording so much. I've been so busy with school, and it's honestly a bit sad because this is my true passion, YouTube stuff. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to do a heavily edited video. I'm just going to sit down, push ladder, and we'll see what's up. I do still have an Ultimate Champion push video I'm trying to get out to you guys as well, which has some very tough matchups, but I figured this would be a bit quicker just to sit down and record a video, not really edit it too heavily, just get a ladder push video out. So speaking of ladder push, this next game is going to be Mortar Goblinstein, looking like a very bad matchup. Mortar, Goblinstein, Cannon Cart. I'm going to go for the E-Spirit. I'm not going to log the guards. I really want to, but I need to have enough elixir to defend this Mortar, so I'm just going to, let them take out my Xbow. Unfortunately, not going to be the best sack and attack scenario for me, but the main important thing is I didn't overcommit and lose my entire tower, because if I did go log on the right side, who knows how much of elixir I would have had to support that push and defend against it in the left, so I still do kind of stand by that play. And so now we're going to be down a bit. My opponent did sort of mess up there going Minor Bats, which is a good punish since I have no E-Spirit or Archers in Cycle, but I did have Fireballs. He should have gone Minor to the back. I was just able to Fireball everything. Pretty good defense, and I think we can win this matchup. This is my first time playing this matchup at a high level, guys. This Mortar Cannon Cart Goblinstein deck. Nice catch on the Cannon Cart. As you can see, he has two massive counters to the Xbow, as we literally saw in the flesh right there. Mortar and then Cannon Cart, or rather Goblinstein and then Cannon Cart, or rather the reverse order, but they're just so annoying. I'm going to go for Evo Skeles to bait out the ability here. I know he's going to go ability, and it's going to be kind of useless because he does not really care about the right side, right? He cares about the left side, so forcing that 2 elixir out, I feel is pretty good. I can go for the E-Spirit into an Xbow right now because I actually have outcycled both the Goblinstein and the Cannon Cart. Really good cycle management by me. He does go for a very low Minor. I thought it was out of range for a second. Let me go for the log as well. Skeles to catch the Cannon Cart, and I'm actually going to Fireball that Cannon Cart in the tower, just get as much chip as I can, and we're going to get some nice damage. Also, the Mortar was fully taken care of. Going to go E-Spirit plus... I could Tesla if I need to, but he's not going arrows, it looks like, so I'll just go Knight instead. Bat's very well controlled, and he's going to go ability. Really bad ability, does not hit the archers. So because of that ability, I'm going to go Expo again. As you guys can see, the biggest counterplay to Goblinstein, because this is a big part of the meta. This is one of the biggest counters to Expo in the meta, too. Going to go for the Fireball last second, too. We almost get a lock, man. I was so close. I was, like, desperate for that lock. We are up by 50 damage exactly right now, though. But one of the biggest things against the Goblinstein is you want to go in right as you're killing the Doctor, because that means they're going to be 3 cards away minimum from getting back to that Doctor. That's the biggest tip I can give you guys against Goblinstein. You don't really want to keep going in when they have it in cycle. You want to go in when you're killing it, so it's really far out of cycle. And I'm also going to go for the E-Spirit before I go for the Expo. Just a small detail, but it's because I want to save my cycle and maintain my cycle in alignment with his. Let's get a nice Fireball off on all of that. Evo Skeles for the Minor does not catch, but I'm going to go for the Expo right about now. Again, Goblinstein is about to die. Archers for the Cannon Cart. Like I was saying, guys, that's the exact kind of scenario where you want to go in. Wi-Fi, do not let me down. Now let's go for the log, and we do get a log. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. As you can see, he had no Goblinstein in cycle, so we get a really good, about 600, 700 damage lock, and that's kind of all I'm going to need to win this game. Now I just have to defend perfectly and spell cycle. Nice prediction, Tesla on the Mortar. We are cooking. Oh my goodness. That is a big deal. I'm not going to lie. That right there, that is a big deal. So just going to go for the defense Expo now. And I think a big part of this matchup is building an advantage before you go in. You don't just mindlessly spam Expos. I feel like in single you can be pretty aggressive with your Expos, but later on in the match you have to go defense Expo quite a lot because you can't just go in when they have Cannon Cart, Stein, and Cycle. Speaking of which, we have killed the Goblinstein, and it's about to die. The Cannon Cart's also about to die. They're both super far out of cycle, and I think this is a really good Expo opportunity right now. So I'm going to go for the Expo. Let's go Tesla to catch that Cannon Cart, possibly. Oh, his old cart does tank. Let's go for Fireball. Oh no, my finger slipped. You guys can see I'm kind of rusty. I legit haven't played in like a few days, so I literally missed the tower. That might cost me the game. Hold up. We do force out the Goblinstein and ability, though. Let's go Evo Skeles, predict a Minor. Let's Fireball the tower. Evo Skeles do catch the Minor. E-Spirit Knight instantly to retarget off the tower. And we are down, but I'm going to be up after I go for the log Fireball. So I'm just going to have to catch this next Minor. Let's go Tesla to block the front. Skeles to catch the right corner. And look at that. We covered 3 out of 4 sides, guys. Top, bottom, and right. That is how you catch Minors at the end of the game. You just spam your entire stuff. You go Skeles the back, something in the front like Knight or Tesla, then like something on the right as well. We did catch it. We got a Fireball off at the last second, and that is honestly, again, a really, really bad matchup. So I still feel like we played very well. Just Cycle Management was the main name of the game right there. You can see all of my Xbows were perfectly timed to align with him not having his Xbow counters in cycles. So he did not have the Goblinstein, he didn't have the cannon cart, and he was just forced to kind of cycle awkwardly. I got really good offense going, and I was able to get a couple of locks, which you would normally never be able to get in that matchup. So I really do feel like we cooked right there, and I'm actually pretty proud of that win again against a pretty difficult matchup. So let's get into the next game as we see a Barbarian Barrel facing quite a lot of good players, by the way. We're seeing players that have top ranked ladder finishes and top ranked 2v2 finishes. I unfortunately had zero time to play 2v2. Again, I've been so busy with final exams. I literally just reach the competitive stage where you win 30 games, and I stopped right there because I just did not have time. But if they bring it back maybe next month, I'll probably try and play 2v2 again. But let's go Xbow tucked in so that this Tesla can support it. Then I'll go for the Knight for the MK, perfectly spaced so it doesn't jump. We'll go Archers to kill the Mother Witch, and he's playing Mega Knight, Mother Witch, Barb Barrel. Let's go E-Spirit as well to protect this Archer. You can see it's a very nice play that I think is underrated. We get 2 Archer hits for our troubles, and I think if it's an Ice Spirit, we actually get 3 hits. So, you know, split Archers. If you play your Spirit in front, it's a mini counter push, and now we have nice damage in both lanes. Knight getting some chip in the left, and the Archer E-Spirit Trick getting some chip in the right. So we do have the flexibility of going in either lane. And I don't know, for some reason, saying flexibility reminded me of half duplex, full duplex. Just been revising for my networking final exam, man. This university life is tough, computer side stuff. But I'm going to go Xbow opposite, as he is back to the Evo MK, but I honestly feel like I'd rather bait out the Evo MK on my Xbow rather than have it cause issues and wreak havoc on offense. Let's catch that Barb Barrel. Perfect E-Spirit. Catches the Barb Barrel. Yo, that was actually a absolutely perfect sequence. We forced out the Evo MK. We killed it at the bridge. We got the Evo Archers to power shot down the MK and the Phoenix in the left. And that was just honestly perfection. Now, I don't want to mess up my cycle, so I could go Log plus Knight. I'm going to let the Prince get super close, then Log last second so it doesn't charge but gets a stab. I think that was the best case scenario. I would not want to waste an entire Tesla or Log plus Knight. Let's go for a really good trick here, guys. Let's go Tesla then Knight. As you can see, we do make the Ram Rider jump, and that is a beautiful trick that you can use against Ram Rider or even Hog Rider Royal Hogs to make it jump the river and get the Xbow to retarget onto the towers. This guy is really upset about that for some reason. He is not happy, but that's one of the best tips I can give you guys with Xbow Cycle. You just want to be going for your Tesla to kite whatever troop they play, and then you can just easily defend. Now let's go Knight for the MK plus Prince. Once that's locked on, we'll go for the Evo Skeles, Fireball, E-Spirit to reset everything, and that is actually just a perfect defense. We take no damage on the tower or the Tesla. Just perfect defense, perfect offense, and that's a perfect sequence all in all. Now I'm going to go for the offensive Expo just because I feel like my opponent is pretty tilted for whatever reason. He definitely just seems to be upset about a lot of things in the world. Honestly, he seems to be really distressed. Look at this man's emotes, man. This guy's going crazy. But no, I'm chilling. So I'm just going to go split Archers. And I don't know what is he playing like a Lightning? I feel like he has to be playing a Lightning, right? Because if he had a Poison or a Fireball, or even an Earthquake, he would have played all of those by now. So I feel like he's probably packing a heavy spell, or maybe no big spell, I don't know. Let's go stack Evo Archers. You notice that he has a Barb Barrel, so I'm abusing that fact by stacking my Archers that he actually cannot kill. Maybe that's something he's pretty upset about, the fact that he physically cannot kill my Archers. Let's go Bow in the right and E-Spirit in the left. Now he's forced to MK on the right side, otherwise these Archers, or otherwise the Expo locks on. But he goes MK in the left instead, just split between his issues, and I'm going to go for the Knight for the MK, Archers to DPS as well, as we get a huge lock in the right, perfect defense in the left, and this guy is just struggling to break through and to defend my pushes, as you guys can see. It's just perfectly timed offense and defense, time and time again. Like, this is honestly just really clean gameplay. I don't know what else to say, guys. Let's Fireball Cycle on the Prince, especially because he gives me an E-Spirit connection. I don't understand why he would do that. Let's go Knight, Evo Skeletons, as they unfortunately just kind of die. Sometimes I feel like that happens, man. Evo Skeles just disappear, and it's a bit annoying, but I mean, you can't really do much about it. Let's go for the Knight for the MK retargeted. Skeles cycle back to my Log for those Evo Skeletons, because they're kind of stacking up right there. And I'm just going to go for the E-Spirit to reset. Then we can go for 2 Fireballs. We'll get back to our Log on defense here. As you guys can see, we are just defending perfectly. 2 Knights just holding the fort. We took like 1 or 2 cursed hog hits. He did have the Lightning. He kind of played the Lightning very late, but I thought that wasn't that easy of a matchup. I mean, Evo MK Cycle with the skeletons, with the Ramrider and Lightning. We kind of just cooked him, honestly. Like, he literally just got cooked. So that's 2288. Very nice number. I think I'm going to go for one more win to get 2300, guys. So let's get into the next match. Actually, I think I do want to take a screenshot of that, because what is this battle log, man? Like, look at these games, guys. Evo MK Ramrider. Okay, that's the wrong button. Evo MK Ramrider Lightning Cycle, and then Mortar Goblinstein Cannon Cart. Like, these are not good 3.0 Xbow Cycle matchups. I'm sorry, they really just aren't. So we're just cooking. I hope this is a really helpful video for you guys. I'm just trying to teach you guys to play with Xbow again in this meta. That's all I'm really trying to do. So into our next game against Chameleon. Let's see what he's going to be running. Let's go Skeles on the left, and he's playing Skeles of his own and Ice Spirit, so some kind of cycle deck. I have a feeling it might be Royal Hog's Earthquake. Okay, never mind, it's a Knight. There's no way it's a mirror match, right? Like, there's just no way. Absolutely no way. By the way, as far as Xbow Cycle goes, I'm experimenting with Evo Skeles, Evo Archers. I feel like Evo Tesla's just not really good anymore. He goes Princess Bridge. Oh, that's a misplay because he's low in Elixir. He lost the game, guys. I'm telling you. He has Knight. He has Tesla. He's going to go Tesla like right about now. So I'm going to go Archers to prevent that. Now he has to Rocket, but he's at like 3 or 4 Elixir. So he just has no Elixir. And what he's going to do, he's just going to lose the game, I guess. Let's go Knight in case he goes late Tesla. And that's just literally a good game. So that one was just an exercise in Elixir and card cycle counting, guys. Mainly because I know this deck. It's the Spell Cycle deck, which is actually historically a terrible 100-0 matchup for him against 3.0 Xbow Cycle. But thankfully for us, we were able to outplay him in single, and he also played for a really bad Princess at the Bridge, just getting too aggressive, so we're just kind of able to go in at the same time and get a really, really nice Xbow sequence going. So that is just going to be a good game. Healer just gave up because he did not have enough for the Rocket right away after playing that LP plus Princess, so he was at like 4. Then he went back to a Knight, so he had to go Tesla. I caught the Tesla with my Archers preemptively, and he couldn't play the Tesla, so he literally just gave up. So I think what he should have done is just been less aggressive, but, you know, you live and you learn. That's going to be another great win, guys. That's going to be 2,300 now, so that's going to be an amazing position to be in. I definitely cannot complain about that one, and that is going to be, I think, just about top 2,000 something. So, you know, for not even playing because I've been so busy with school, I feel like this is a pretty good point to be at on ladder. I'm really happy. That's just a straight-up win streak, so, you know, this is pretty awesome stuff, I'm not going to lie. Alright guys, so I decided to play one more game, and I started out with a loss, but then I got this absolutely amazing game against one of the hardest matchups in the meta, Hog Rider Earthquake, newly evolved with a Goblinstein. This is actually a pretty common meta deck. I actually recommended this deck myself in the global tournament recently, I think, so this is a very strong and common deck in the meta alongside Royal Hog's Earthquake, and I was like, oh my god, I'm against this deck. This is a guaranteed loss, but I actually was able to win and do a great job against it, so I had to show this and include it in the video for you guys because I want to teach you again how to play against the current meta with 3.0 Xbow Cycle. That is kind of the goal of this video. So this one is going to be a great win. So sit back, relax, and get ready for how to beat and destroy hard counters with 3.0 Xbow Cycle. So this one right here, again, Hoggy Q was always kind of traditionally an annoying matchup, not really a hard counter where they're always going to win, but it's always one where you have to play perfectly, and it definitely favors Hog more than Xbow in terms of how easy it is to play the matchup, because Earthquake obviously just takes out an entire Xbow. But the thing that makes this one different specifically is the fact that they have the Goblinstein, which is number 1, a champion, affords them 3-card cycle. Number 2 is a great Xbow counter, so just easily counters any kind of Xbow. And number 3 acts as an offensive tool, actually. As you can see in this match right here, I was forced to play my Tesla to defend the Goblinstein monster, and now you can see I do a perfect play. I knew a Hog was coming down. Look at this fast finger reflexes. Archers, E-Spirit Skeletons without even missing a beat, taking out that Hog for no damage. So if you guys are up against this deck, I kind of just came up with that on the spot, but I realized it was actually a really smart thing and something that you have to do. You have to be able to defend their Hogs without the Tesla sometimes, especially in single when they try and get you with those really annoying plays. Now I knew a Hog was coming down because he thought he outcycled me, but this is the benefit of pre-Teslas, and I actually did defend that last Hog without a Tesla, so, you know, activation was perfect. And I go for the Evo Skeles. I don't know if that was necessary because they just died, didn't really get much damage, but they did push the hog over by a bit, and I actually did kind of like have the hog barely not touch the tower at the very end. So I feel like maybe those Evo Skeles were actually kind of impactful because, you know, the hog might have gotten a hit on the tower if not for that slight push, even though they didn't really do much. So I still feel like that was pretty good. And now you can see this is the biggest, or not biggest, I'm going to have 3 tips I'll tell you guys about how to play this matchup, but here is the third most important one. Actually, I'd say the least important out of the 3 I'm going to give you, but still a huge one, which is Spell Cycle. And I actually would always advise you guys to go opposite lane in this match, because if you go same lane, they can easily just, you know, stack up pushes and easily take you out with their plays. If they go, you know, hog, Goblinstein, non-stop, back-to-back, same lane, then you try and go for an Xbow to punish them eventually, and then just Earthquake it off in the same lane. I don't think that's ideal if you want that, so opposite lane is the aim of the game. As you can see, I recognize that even though I have all the damage in the right, I did take a good fireball on the Evo Firecracker in the left, and it's going to start. You can see now I'm switching my log cycle to the left side because I'm going opposite lane. Now the biggest aim of the game in this matchup is defense. You want to be defending perfectly. Without perfect defense, you're going to be taking hog hits left and right, you're going to be down damage, and this does come down to Spell Cycle and chip damage over time, so any amount of chip matters. And here is the second most important, excuse me, I'm getting my numbers mixed up, but this is perfect offense. You can see that number 1, I have outcycled the Goblinstein, and number 2, I have a good position with Evo Archer's counter pushing, so he does not have enough for the Goblinstein. I catch the Firecracker with my E-Spirit, I get a huge lock in the left, plus force out the cannon on the right with the Evo Skeletons, practice my King Tower activation with that Knight, and that was actually just a perfect sequence. You can see I'm actually in the lead because of that perfect offensive Expo. The biggest thing, if you guys were paying attention in that Cannon Cart Goblinstein matchup, Mortar, that one is going in when they don't have Goblinstein Cycle, right as a Goblinstein dies, because that's going to be their biggest tank and counter to your Expo. So I was able to do just that, go in at that perfect moment, perfect timing, and I got a lock. So I feel like, again, the 3 biggest tips I can give you guys in this matchup. Number 1 is perfect defense. You'll see that I've barely taken any hog hits the entire game, actually, because I've just been defending perfectly. Even right here, I go for the archers, I go for a last minute log once the king is helping out on the hog. 0 hits taken without the Tesla, so perfect defense. And I think defense Exos can be pretty good, but only in triple. You can see this is my first ever Debo of the match, otherwise you want to save them for offense, of course. So number 1, perfect defense, number 2, perfect offense. It does come down to Spell Cycle, but ultimately, you still want to try and get a lock if you can. Here my opponent does a pretty good job of breaking through, outcycling my Tesla. Does get a hog hit. Now thankfully that log clipped the Firecracker, otherwise I might have lost the game. But then number 3, as you can see here, comes down to Spell Cycle. It was such a close ending, but I was able to get that last minute fireball off, and I was able to win the game, and that is how I beat this very tough 100-0 matchup that I will leave you guys to end the video with. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, hope I was able to help you guys out, learn some 3.0 Xbow Cycle tips. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next one. Wish me luck for my final exams.